45% of people working for large organizations, so organizations employing 100,000 plus people, which isn't a lot of organizations,
Mm.
up to 45% of their workforce are either marginally skeptical or fully, don't believe anything that the boss says. The hackers know this. They've read the behavioral science textbooks and they are targeting those, what we used to call presentee people. So an absentee is somebody who's going to leave and doesn't bother coming into work or doesn't bother logging on.
Mm.
A presentee is somebody who does come into work but is kind of off the program and looking for opportunities to break things. What
Mm.
the hackers now know is that all they have to do is find one of those 45%, 100,000 people, that's 45,000 target opportunities.
Right.
Think
Okay.
about that. They only have to get lucky once.
Yeah, and so now we can kind of link what we said before about, let's say, behavioral economics, behavioral science being weaponized. This original research is developing into this dark design patterns and
I'll tell you what, the biggest readers of behavioral science now, or the most voracious. So a barrister who I worked with years ago on anti-money laundering stuff used to say, financial criminals have an unlimited commitment to self-education. Think about that.
tell me,
Financial crime is
unpack
a
it.
direct self-acting incentive. And with cybercrime, the great thing about it, if you're into organized crime, is that the barriers to entry are effectively zero. So unlike other forms of organized crime, like people trafficking, drug
Oh, you mean
running,
it's zero incentive to
guns,
learning from the
it has
experience
no,
because
well,
there's
it has
hardly any
zero
backlash.
physical, it has almost zero physical footprint.
Almost there. Yes, exactly. This is
It's
what
not
happens with
liable to police
with digital stuff.
disruption.
Hmm.
So the law enforcement has a really hard time catching up with cybercrime because where is it?
And plus, to all of that, we have the pace of human decision making versus the development of technology and all of those
Right.
tools.
And Adam,
The
this
different
is my
curve,
point.
right?
So we're at a point in the evolutionary cycle where actually you could say maybe 25 years ago it was still possible for us as humans to recognize when the thing we were interacting with was mechanical.
Hmm.
I think we passed that kind of basic Turing test point probably 10 years ago when we started seeing, Hollywood made a bunch of movies about AI assistants, and is it Scarlett Johansson or is it, interesting sidebar, Scarlett Johansson is herself challenging the developers now for the, misuse of her voice or a synthetic copy of her voice. Talk about truth copying fiction. So we're now at a stage where actually the human brain as evolved is simply not capable for the average person. And look, I'm not going to say cognitive scientists and people specializing in this are infallible either. And I think what's interesting, some of the most senior people who've been duped by social engineering crime, by this form of cyber hacking,
Even experts, right?
are, they are the finance directors, they're the C-suite people in large financial firms who in their construct of the world say, oh no, I'm far too clever to be fooled by something as basic as that. Every single week now, I am seeing news reports of major, monetary losses in large organizations from social engineer hacking.